so on and so forth. And somebody mentioned it today, I think it was you, that mentioned World War II. And I'll tell you just a short story from my own industry, okay? You know, we are involved in refining, you know, all basic material productions, from energy to chemicals to whatever. But during World War II, the troops were falling short of petrol. And the reaction from the United States was to pull the best minds together that they had, scientists, engineers, chemists, whatever. And they developed a unit that's still found in complex refineries today called the catalytic cracking unit. That unit at that time, they got a nickname. The nickname was the garbage can. And the reason they call it the garbage can is because you can put any grade of crude into it, you can get a high yield of gasoline out of it. And that was brought to commercial production in 18 months. 18 months. Because there was an emergency, there was a war on. And, you know, everybody in this room who was an advocate of, you know, doing something about this, you talk about it as if there's a war on. So if there was really a political will to do something about this, personally I feel they could pull the best minds that they have in the world together, and you could bring a hydrogen infrastructure to market in a very short period of time. That's my own opinion.
Okay, thank you. I was promised a very short comment there, and then after that we'll leave it back into the...
Yeah, it's very short. It's just that the technologies that exist today are sufficient for solving all of the problems we've heard about today.
I'm going to force this one in. I'm going to quote a friend of mine who taught me this, and it's in the audience. Everyone wants to change the world. No one wants to change themselves. We have to change ourselves.
Okay, I'm not sure if it all qualifies for the one, but you got several ones from...
That's the best I can say.
Yes.
Thank you. But I think I need to have the second gentleman up.
Yes.
He has come up with how many? 16 points in your to reduce carbon footprint. How many? A 16-year-old kid gives in his book to 18 points to us, so I think we should listen to him. Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, I would like to say that I'm honored to be invited to Save Our Planet too. And I'm moving outside my comfort zone by just asking this question because I'm feeling quite nervous right now. And so I have a concern actually. Like right now, I'm in grade 11 and I've been researching about universities and further education. So during my research process, I've been trying to find courses relating to sustainability. However, I was shocked to know that there aren't too many courses that are just central to sustainability. And knowing that the environmental challenges in front of us are basically the biggest challenges that we're facing, I feel that courses on sustainability should be integral to our education system. However, that isn't the case. So what do you guys feel about that, and how can that be changed?
Actually, we ran out of time, but my presentation was exactly on sustainability, and just like nature, sustainability follows laws. So there's laws of sustainability. The first one is we cannot sustain population growth, period, or the rate of consumption. So there are laws that if we want to become sustainable, we have to follow. And right now we're not sustainable. We consume too much oil. Now, nobody talks about unsustainability, but what's going to happen, because for the last 2 years I've been to every meeting ever, when are you going to run out of something? So whether it's oil or water or food, I think the most scariest thing is food. If we run out of food, then we're going to peak population. We're going to have a lot of problems. So what I tell people, what I want to say is, let's get ready for it. If we show that we prepare for a shortage of food, then people might start to realize, oh, maybe I should get my employees ready, my business ready. Because if your employees don't eat, they won't come to work. I can guarantee you that. You can give them $1 million per day. If food is not available, they will not come to work. So I think we have to get ready. There's, those laws are there. Absolutely, you cannot debate it. You can debate it as much as you want, but it's a fact of life.
Let me field my answer to that question, because you were specifically asking where can you go study this. one of the arguably mistakes I made in my life is when I went back for a master's degree, I applied to 2 universities in the United States that had environmental sciences degrees, and I chose the wrong one. I chose the one there was money associated with. I could get a free education, and I ended up in a program I didn't like, and I left, and I should have chosen the other one, paid out of pocket. I would have been doing what I'm doing now, but 20 years sooner. Probably what you want exists to a great extent in graduate departments, but undergraduate departments not so. The majors in undergraduate departments are the traditional ones: political science, perhaps, biology, chem. You understand what? One of the strongest things you can do is start calling to all of the universities that you're researching and say, I'm calling and saying, Skype, $1 a minute. Say, what courses do you offer at the undergraduate level in ecology, and not just sustainability, because sustainability may not be the way they phrase it. So get a few words, and either they will have something to offer you, or they will say, guess what? We're getting calls for something we don't offer. And so you will be catalyzing the educational system. Now, if you're not finding it here in Thailand, then I would say check in the US, because there probably are more undergraduate offerings.
Yes, also, when I was in university, and it's a little bit over 20 years ago, believe it or not, and it was exactly my observation. I chose an engineering, a combined degree, right, and with engineering and economics, right. And I also felt, like this is something, we should have more of this, like into this direction. And my concern actually was a little bit different, because I felt that I had courses that were very relevant from a sustainability perspective, because sustainability is very cross-cutting, right? You can become an engineer, let's say a process engineer, and there's a strong sustainability dimension in that. You become a biologist, and there's a strong sustainability dimension in that. What I didn't like back then, actually we started a student group, to push the university to make changes in the curriculum. And for me it was actually to be allowed to take courses outside of my degree, that would give me a broader perspective on sustainability that would count as credit towards my degree, right? So that was the push, to make the study more interdisciplinary. So if I were you now, right, I would look for universities and programs that have a strong interdisciplinary focus. And from there you basically pick it, because sustainability can be so many things, and obviously you cannot be the master of all trades. But then to pick the area, but you should have a program where you can pick and choose the things that you're interested in to get this broad perspective that you like, right? It's a bit outside of the traditional thinking, that's why I think universities have a bit problem with that also.
Okay, thank you very much. We want to very short then.
If I could just add to that point, I'm biased. I'm an engineer, and I think we heard earlier that what we're looking for now is solutions. And I think an engineering education of some flavour would give you a route into providing the solutions to moving sustainability forward. So that's one alternative route to look for, is look for an area that interests you as far as the solution goes, and look at moving the technology and the ideas forward in that field.
I'll say a very quick one. I can't tell you how to navigate through the university system, but I'm an engineer also, and I just want to follow up on what Mr. Wilson said. You're talking about sustainability, so the question to ask is, what drives sustainability? Simple answer: energy. Energy drives sustainability. If you look throughout history, you can trace the collapse of civilizations to a drying up of their energy source. Think about it, study it.
5 seconds, I count.
Don't look at the programs on university, look at the jobs that they offer. You're always looking for sustainability teachers, so that's where you're going to find the teachers.
Okay, I think, Roy, we need to capitalize on all this interest in education. Myself, coming from an educational institution, I will certainly take home some of the comments. But let's move into maybe some other topics. Are there anybody in the audience who have some concerns or some questions? Yes?
Can I say it out loud? Okay.
Yes, if you raise the voice a bit more, then we will hear.
My question is, what are the courses of action we can take to shift the power of decision-making from all the lobbies or the present governments, corporations, to the people who have the future of the planet and the humanity at heart? How can we do that shift? Because I believe that as long as the shift is not done, it's going to be just a dialogue and a great poetry.